Sathya Sai Speaks, Volume 14, Chapter 10, Sneha, Part 1 of 2. Sneha is the 8th of 9 stages of bhakti, devotion, described in the Bhagavata and other texts. It is usually translated as friendship, a term that has been understandably vulgarized by application to certain transitory relationships between living beings. Friends come together as a result of a variety of reasons and circumstances which are mostly of worldly and temporary interest. People who have ample resources gain friends quickly, as do also those who have a great deal of patronage in their hands or can distribute favors. Those in authority also gather friends, who of course stay on during fair weather, but disappear when the authority fades. Most friendships are based on selfish considerations and last only as long as selfish interests are prompted thereby. As the proverb goes, when the lake is full, there are also frogs in plenty, but when it runs dry, not a single croak is heard. Friendship ought to be a spiritual bond, a heart-to-heart kinship based on full understanding and pure dedication of one to another. Students should be vigilant against false and fleeting friendships and not be simply led away by hellos and handshakes. Do not cultivate close friendships with anybody unless you know that the motives on the other side are pure, unselfish, and spiritual. The unique friendship between Krishna and Arjuna. Genuine friendship can only be possible between one Atman and another, that is to say, between two persons who have each realized that Atman is the core of their being. Nowhere on the mundane plane can you get the genuine Sneha, which is declared as the penultimate stage, to Sharanagati or Atmanivedana, total surrender and dedication to God, among the trivial, transitory friendships of the world. Arjuna and Krishna had this genuine Sneha between them. Arjuna saw Krishna as his Sakha, friend, and therefore had the temerity to use words of jesting irreverence during play, or while in repose, or when seated by him, or at meals, which is mentioned in the Gita as Vihara Shayasana Bhojaneshu. The two often ate meals from the same plate and were ready to help each other under all circumstances. Do not be under the impression that Arjuna was insidiously overpowered by Krishna. He was mature in character, well versed in Vedic lore, and a redoubtable warrior and bowman, full of courage and heroism. Krishna was the Purushottama, Supreme Being. Arjuna was the Narottama, best human. It was a friendship between the embodiment of the highest and the embodiment of the best. Krishna was the avataric, incarnated person. Arjuna was the Anandic, blissful person. It was a coming together of the Avatar Murti and the Ananda Murti. Arjuna was often addressed by Krishna as Kurunanda. This name has a deep significance. Kuru means act, activity, karma. Nanda means happy, delighted. Kurunanda therefore means he who is delighted while engaged in activity. Throughout the 18 chapters of the Gita, Arjuna is alert and active, participating vigilantly in every turn of argument. Krishna's assurance to all who offer their self. Ramakrishna Paramahansa was fascinated by the Sneha that was exemplified by the Krishna-Arjuna relationship. He learned from the Bhagavata and the Bhagavad Gita how the sadhaka, spiritual aspirant, can go through all the 9 stages of bhakti, devotion. He was also determined to emulate the gopis, cowherd girls, and earn for himself the viraha, passionate type of bhakti, madhura bhakti, sweet devotion, that the gopis had. When he read the Ramayana, he decided to emulate Hanuman and practice his dasa bhakti, devotion or servitude. Of all the slokas, verses in the Bhagavad Gita, Ramakrishna was especially impressed by the one that emphasized the attitude of Atma Nivedana or Sharanagati. Manmana bhava mad bhakto madhyaji mam namaskuru mame vaishyasi yuktvaivam atmanam matparayanaha. Become one with me, be devoted to me, sacrifice unto me, bow down to me. Thus having made thy heart steadfast in me, taking me as the supreme goal, thou shalt surely come to me. One day while Ramakrishna was going to Kamarpukur, night overtook him and he was caught in heavy rain right in the center of a burial ground. Of course, he was in such an ecstatic mood that the time, place or weather mattered little to him. When he woke, Ramakrishna called upon God by various names, Rama, Shiva, Krishna, Kali, Hanuman. Then he suddenly realized that the names all referred to the One, and he repeated within himself the verse from the Gita that reminded him of Sharanagati, absolute surrender to the One. To get peace, surrender absolutely to God. Many interesting incidents took place at Dakshineshwar. When Ramakrishna was once asked to go to the temple office to receive his monthly salary, he was very much upset, for he never wanted any wages for being given the chance of worshipping his mother. At another time, thieves broke into the Krishna temple. When Ramakrishna and Mathuranath came by there and discovered that Krishna's idol was absolutely bare and that every jewel had been stolen, Mathuranath fell into a rage and began blaming Krishna himself. You are adored as the guardian of the 14 worlds, but you cannot guard even the jewels on your own body, he said. Ramakrishna reprimanded him for this sacrilege, saying, Krishna has Lakshmi as his consort, and for him your gold and gems are as cheap as dust. As a matter of fact, what is gold but dust in another form? He made Mathuranath repent for his silly outburst, making him aware of the true nature of Godhead. If only you surrender your wish and will, your fancies and fantasies to God, He will lead you aright and give you peace and joy. You must not run after diverse ends and flitting pleasures. Leave everything to God and accept whatever happens as His will. End of part 1 of 2. College Hostel, August 20th, 1978.